Have you ever heard of the word glossophobia? Glossophobia. Yes, this simply means the fear of the tongue. Many of us seem to suffer from this syndrome. If you have ever developed cold feet when you're asked to do a class presentation, or when you'll be told that you'll be giving a kind of toast, let's say in a family gathering, or better still, if you're going to be giving a speech during your school's graduation, then the term to describe that fear you feel is called glossophobia. Hello, my little lovelies, it's diction time again, a time where we learn and practice how to speak rightly. Today, we are going to be learning or discussing about the rudiments of public speaking. What is public speaking? Now, if you take the word public and you also take the word speaking, you already know what we're talking about. However, simply put, public speaking has to do with having to give a speech in public, okay? Or before an audience or a group of persons. Sometimes it could be persons that you're familiar with, or at other times, persons that you have never met in your entire life. Many of us suddenly develop cold feet, or at other times, bubbles just begin to move about in our heads and we forget everything that we meant to say when we find ourselves in that position to speak publicly. Now, what is the solution? How do I get out from this fear of speaking before people? How do I become a good public speaker? This is what we will learn today. Number one, you need to speak with the proper diction. Now, this entails you building your vocabulary of words. Remember, we said that vocabulary entails the words that make up a particular language. How do I build up my vocabulary, you may ask? Simple. Make a habit of reading. Read literature. When I say literature, I mean storybooks, okay? You can also, study your library. As you're reading, you find a new word that you love, note it down. And consciously, even while you speak with your friends or with your family members, use those words when you communicate. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you need to have a plan. Yes, a plan. There's a saying that he who fails to plan, plans to fail. Now, as a part of building your public speaking skills, you need to have a plan. Now, what am I going to be talking about? What is the topic? Am I speaking on social responsibility? Or am I going to be talking about respect? Okay, whatever it is that the topic might be, you need to have it in your head because that will guide what you're going to say and how you're going to plan how to say it. Next, still in your plan, you still need to know what audience you're going to be speaking with. Am I speaking to my peers? Am I going to be talking in class? Or am I going to be speaking before grown-ups? Am I going to be giving the talk in church or in an auditorium filled with lots of people, maybe like a graduation? Or simply, is it just a class presentation before my teacher and my peers? That will also guide you in planning because The way you're going to be talking to your peers is quite different from the way you will relate with your elders. Okay? Also, in your plan, you also need to know the persons or the audience I'm going to be speaking with. Do they already have a knowledge of what I'm speaking about, or are they totally ignorant about that particular subject matter? Are they educated people, or are they, uneducated people? Those will guide your use of terms and language. Let's say, for instance, I'm a medical personnel, okay, and I'm called upon to give, let's say, a speech to children in a classroom concerning my profession, okay? Now, I will not go about using big medical terminologies. The children will not understand what I'm saying. Am I correct? Good. Let's say, for instance, I just come and I say, hello kids, I'm Dr. So-and-so. I'm going to be talking about your health. Many people suffer from glossophobia, cancerous, those the big terms, medical terms that they use. The children would just be looking at me. Because when you're giving a public speech, there must be a communication. And if the communication will be lost if there is no understanding of the words that you use. Okay? Good. You need to build your self-confidence. You need to be bold. Okay? Now, it's normal to, kind of fidget. But just look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you can. And please, I forgot to mention this. While planning, okay, just ensure that you use words that you are used to, okay? Don't bother yourself using vocabularies that you've not mastered, okay? Keep your language as simple as possible, because that also helps in your self-confidence. If you make a mistake while standing before people, giving your talk, you might be mesmerized. When I say mesmerized, I mean you might get confused, okay? And everything just flies away like butterflies. So you need to keep it simple. All right? The fourth thing you need to work on is your body movements, okay? That also is related to your being confident and bold. Let's take, for instance, I come before you, I'm giving a talk, and I just stand this way. Hello, everyone. My name is Mrs. F.A. I'm going to be talking about verbs. Verbs is an action word. Is that no word? I'm standing like a standard board. I'm too stiff. And I look very much like a robot, isn't it? So if I stand in that way, in that manner, I am unable to connect, and the audience will go like, what's wrong with her? Is she okay? But if I come before you this way, hello everyone, I'm Mrs. F.A. Today we are going to be talking about verbs. Now, compare this scenario with the previous one. Which caught your attention most? Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Which caught your attention most? This last one, of course, right? Good. So you need to learn how to make the right body movements, okay? Don't just stand stiff all the way as if you're frozen, okay? Try to work on it, and it helps, this method helps as in standing before the mirror and giving your speech. Even while no one is there, just take your, brush or your pen as your mic and practice away, okay? It helps you loosen up. Imagine yourself, you can even gather your family around about you and practice before them, okay? So you loosen up before the appointed time. Now, on to the 5th point. I'm going to be saying 2 things as the 5th point. Firstly, you need to learn how to make good eye contact. Eye contact. And also, learn to give a smile, okay? Don't be too stiff. Don't frown all the way as if you are placed in a very hot spot. Okay? When you're talking, try as much as possible to maintain eye contact. Like a popular public speaker once advised, 1 thought per eye contact. Okay? Let's say I'm giving a talk or a presentation in a class, okay? In the classroom. When I say, hello everyone, I'm here to talk about verbs. I don't just go about staring at the ceiling, no. When I say verbs, I try to pick a particular person and I, ensure that the person grabs what I just said, verb, okay? That helps you to create a connection with your audience. If there is no connection, then there is no understanding. Your audience will get, as in the tie between you and your audience will just get broken. They will wish you just say what you want to say and get off their faces. Okay? So try to maintain 1 eye contact per idea. And while doing that, ensure you give a pleasant face. Don't over smile. Don't go about saying a verb is a no. Okay? You can say a verb is an action word. Okay? As against a verb is an action word. It tells about people doing things. Doesn't it look weird? It does. Okay, so try as much as possible. Now on to the 6th point. 6th point. Alright? This has to do with your speed and audibility. Speed and audibility. Now when we say audibility, it means that the audience or your listeners has to hear you talk. Okay? You need to learn to talk or speak in such a way that the audience would hear you clearly. They don't have to switch their ears before they hear you. Okay? So, in doing that, you need to ensure that you speak loudly. Okay? But not too loudly. Do not shout. Don't go out and say, hello. No. Just keep it down. Hello. Okay? Sounds better. Try to be very, very loud. Loud and clear. Okay? Also, ensure that you're not speaking too fast. Okay? For instance, I'll stand before you saying, a verb is an action word or a doing word. It entails doing things. It can also be called, come on. That's too fast, okay? You need to learn to take it bit by bit. Neither being too fast nor too slow, okay? And ensure as much as you can to avoid unnecessary transitions. Let's say, for instance, you're talking, say, my name is also, and and you understand, and try as much as possible to trash all that while you're giving a public talk. Instead, use passes, okay? When you throw a particular idea or a line of thought, try to maintain a pause. This would enable the audience to digest that information before you proceed. It will also allow you time to build your next line of idea. Okay? Got that? Great. Now, let me quickly say this before I wrap up this lesson. When writing out your plan, do not write out too much ideas, okay? Try as much as possible to just outline the main pointers, okay? This would make you, focused, because when you write down too many ideas, you might end up spending too much time on just one idea. But when you write out the main pointers, okay, you just pick the pointers and talk right straight from your head. And also, writing too much information might lead you into the temptation of wanting to read out to your audience. And that's totally wrong, because there will not be any connection anymore. Okay? Got that? Good. Now, a little secret. This might help you do away with those inner tension you might feel when you newly step on stage. Okay? Some persons get maybe a ball, okay, or maybe a toy, whatever it is, very tiny, and they hold it in their hands, okay? Nobody notices it, nobody sees it except you, okay? You just apply all your nervousness into it and you give your energy to your audience, okay? Trust me, it works. And finally, practice, 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 okay? Practice brings about perfection, all right? When you start the first time and it's not exactly what you expected, don't fizzle out. Don't give up. The second one might be a disaster as well. Don't give up, okay? Keep trying and keep practicing. And I tell you, before you know it, you will be one of the most renowned public speakers all over the world. Before I sign out, I need you to move on to the quiz section and follow every bit of instruction. I want to see your submission and see how well you have mastered everything that we learned in this lesson. All right, kids, I hope you've learned a lot from this lesson. Not just learning, but please try to put it into practice, because you never can tell where you find yourself tomorrow. All right, that's all for this lesson. Keep being good character, kids. Bye-bye.